So how do you know when something's not working and what do you do about it? You know, it's something I struggle with all the time. You know, there's such degrees of what's working and what's not that it's constant thinking and looking and making decisions. And so, you know, a good example is this row of spinach because it wasn't watered well when it was planted, so it's a little spotty. So early on, I had to make a decision, well, what do we do about it? Do we rip it out and try again? Well, if this was the spring or the winter or the fall, I would have. I would say that's not good enough. Let's rip it out. I need 100% or I need 95% germination for it to pass, and let's not waste time with it. But it was 100 degrees yesterday. It's going to be 100 degrees today. So there's very little spinach at the market. Spinach is a lot tougher to germinate these days. So we're actually going to let it grow and harvest it and then move on. And so those decisions, you know, whether to pull it out and just start over, need to be made early on, right? Quickly and kind of ruthlessly. You know, if it's you can't get attached to it, and you have to realize that, you know, every square foot is so important. So if it's not if you feel like it's just not going to be worth it, a lot of the times it's better to just start over. You know, like I said, with this spinach, I you know, any other season it would have, you know, it's not that bad, but I would have just ripped it up and done it again. So it's rare on this farm to have, you know, because these were planted at the same time, the cilantro and the spinach, and it just wasn't watered right. It's rare to see that because I would usually just rip it out. But it's based on what time of year it is right now and how much of it do I have, what are the chances of having a good result at this time. So it's going to be left. But as I said, most of the time I would just rip it out and start over. That's always been what I've done since the beginning of farming, since I started farming, was I'd rather just rip it out and start again and maximize my production. Unless, of course, I'm really hurting myself over it. And I know those decisions are certainly hard to make. But my advice for when you're making them is lean towards doing it over. And if you're going to make the decision, do it early so that, you know, there's you're hurting yourself less, right? Don't wait till it's a few weeks have passed, right? If you get bad germination on the seeding, you know, just go ahead, burn it, and start over again. You just lose a few days.